Alright folks, welcome back to ALCHEMOTO's garage, and I keep forgetting I've got the mic. You knew I was used to shouting through it. Take two. Alright folks, and welcome back to ALCHEMOTO's garage, and we are here with Steve Subo's bike.
Afternoon, gents. Ladies.
So Steve's owned this Sportster for 18 months, rides through all weathers. He is not shy, and in actual fact it is pissing down outside today, but he's rode through the rain to get here to have this bike tuned. So you'll notice he has got the LAF pipes on this bike. LAF stands for loud as fuck, if you guys out there don't know that. But these are a bugger to tune, as some of you who've got these pipes, and if you're watching this video for that very reason, know for sure. So we're going to try and get a map built for this bike to make this bike run super smooth. So without further ado, let's bring you closer. Right, okay, so the first thing we need to do is, obviously this is if you've got the Super Tuner, the Screamin Eagle Super Tuner for your bike, and the orange box, as we know, is the one that everyone strives for, that Harley do not do anymore. They went to the black box due to legal reasons, because of the extra things you can do with the Super Tuner Pro that you can't do with the black box, which is just a basic mapping. So the thing with this is, as well, is on your bike you have to make sure you do have the correct lead to fit your bike. This is the 4-pin, and just remind me again what year your bike is, Steve?
2011.
So 2011. Mine is a 2016. It went to a 6-pin plug. I can't be sure exactly the date, but just make sure you know what plug you need if you haven't got the lead for your bike. So basically you need your laptop and you need the software on that. Now people have asked me before about the software. There is still some forum sites where you can get the software. I do have it, but the file's too big for me to send over, and I can't seem to put it onto my website. So if any of you are struggling, I will try and have a look at that again. Basically it's a USB lead into the tuning box and then down to your bike, where you have got this little plug. Now on this bike it's just tucked behind the side cover. Okay, so we need to plug that into there like so, and then kick up the software on the laptop. In fact, let's just put that down there. Okay, so once you have put your software on here and you're plugged into the bike, you will notice here it says tune my motorcycle. Nice and easy. So we press that one, and then it's all straightforward here. We've been through this before. In order to communicate with your motorcycle, you must connect your vehicle comms interface, the VCI, to the motorcycle and to the PC, which we just explained. Orange box and lead to your bike, which is here. So turn off the vehicle ignition switch and the run stop switch. Make certain the interface is connected to the USB serial port. Connect the interface cable to the vehicle, and then turn on the vehicle ignition switch and run stop switch. Okay, which is what we're going to do now. Is your key in the?
It's in the ignition, yeah.
Okay. Okay, now on this one it actually says, you can tell your bike's not been done for a while because there is a new, I've got to reprogram the VCI. Okay, so if we look at this, instructions, the current contents of the VCI will be lost. So on the PC, exit all of the programs on the VCI. Ensure the VCI is connected to the bike and has power. Do not disconnect the VCI during the process. Key and run stop switch must remain on during the update. Click reprogram VCI to begin the update. Well, that's good, that, because it's recognising that your VCI can have a new update on it before we put the map on.
Right, okay.
So that's handy. So it's not been plugged in for a while.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been sat at
Yeah.
Superbike factory.
Okay, so the VCI reprogramming was successful. How cool is that, folks? So now, no point in checking for updates on that because we're on the latest software here anyway. Okay, so now we can just go straight to tuning. So we need to input the year, family and model, find the right calibration. Now we know it's not going to have the laugh pipes on here, but we're going to continue anyway. Okay, and it's already put up here, it's put 2012. Okay, I'm just thinking now, is it the PN61? 61, yeah, so it's the later one, so that's right, 2012 rather than 2011. Okay, and the available calibrations for this are the 1200 stage 1, 883 to 1200 stage 1 conversion, 883 stage 1 or the 1200 stage 2. But for this one, we're going to have to go straight for the 883 stage 1. Okay, so whichever way you do this, it will always come up with Screamin Eagle air cleaner or a heavy breather kit and a race exhaust. It doesn't really have a lot of comparison. You can actually go into your files and find slightly different ones, but it always goes back to Screamin Eagle. Remember, this is the Harley-Davidson Screamin Eagle tuner, so everything it refers to is always for factory accessories. Okay, so you'll never find one that'll have for laugh pipes or, you know, for different types of 2-in-1 exhaust, Cobras and whatnot. It'll always be for Harley accessories. So we have to use that as a base map. So we're going to open that one up. Now we've got to put it into data gathering mode if you're going to smart tune it, okay? But what we're going to do is have a look at these maps and graphs and then see what we're going to do with the air fuel ratio and everything. Because the laugh pipes, we need to change a few of these graphs over to suit the bike. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do on the tables is just the accelerator enrichment. Now, we've just changed the graph on this to 0.98 from 1. It's only a fraction, but it can make a hell of a difference. Okay, so that's on the accelerator. On the decel enlightenment, here 0.98, decel enlightenment, adjust the transient fuel. Larger values cause more fuel to be removed. Well, we don't want that because that's what causes decel pop. Now, Steve doesn't get an awful lot of decel pop on the bike, but we can try and make it run a little bit smoother by keeping that fuel to air ratio enough to make it a smoother ride as well. So what we're going to do is leave that at that, try that on that map, and then the next thing we're going to do is look at the throttle, which is the accelerator enrichment here. Okay, now this adjusts the transient fuel when the throttle is rapidly opened. Larger values cause fuel to be added. So that one now we can change back on the higher temperature range when she's warm, yeah, to 1.05. .06, and if you look at the temperature here, at 96 was 1.05, and it's actually going more at the colder temperatures. Okay, well, we want to keep a little bit more of that fuel at the top end because that is where your laugh pipes tend to lose a little bit of the throttle. Okay, so we're going to just try that for now. Right, okay folks, so that's all we're going to do is the accelerator enrichment and the decel for now, and just change a couple of those figures and then program the bike. And then what we're going to do is just change that file name here, just put onto that. Right, okay, so we'll save that file so we know that's your file, mate.
Okay, thank you.
So it's just going to tell you ECM information now, your VIN number, your ECM pin, calibration ID, software level, blah, blah, blah. Program the bike. Maps going in. So the idea, folks, is just to put a base map on, change a couple of figures and see how that goes, and then from then on we can build on that base map. Okay, so loading your base map is a simple procedure, whichever bike you've got, if you've got the Super Tuner. But the reason being is you need to put that on before you can build on that process. So we've changed a couple of figures now just on this map. We'll run this and see what it's like. Now the next one we'll do will be the data gathering mode. So what we'll do is keep the Super Tuner attached to the bike and then take the bike out for half an hour running all conditions. And that means holding the bike in first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear and so on. Just so it records that data on how the rider performs as well with the bike. It sort of learns from that process, and then you can resave that to the Super Tuner in that map and build on it again. So I don't know how he rides in third gear, how long he holds the gear, how long he opens the throttle for. People are different, so it will learn that process for the rider as well, which is a great way of tailoring the map to an individual rider as well. Anyway, we'll start the bike up now, see what she sounds like. Okay folks, so when Steve put these pipes on, he had the Vance & Hines short shots that everyone seems to have on the Sportster, and they broke at the manifold, didn't they?
Yes, that sounds good, yeah.
So again, another common problem with the short shots is they did end up breaking at the manifold, and then of course then he just went for the lath pipes after that. Of course, why we're here tuning them. But what did happen is we had the problems with the O2 sensors and the bung problem, didn't you?
Yeah.
Getting that out. Hence why it shows up on the historic codes for the oxygen sensors and blah, blah, blah. Not responding and the engine rich. So if you look now, we've had the bike running and tuned and we have got no fault codes present. So that's good news. And to be fair, I think that was running quite smooth then in comparison.
Yeah, I'm chuffed. Compared to a cold start, it is running a lot better.
So before I think the map was loaded on cold start, she would have been turning over a little bit more before she fired maybe? Yeah. And that was instantaneous on the first half a turn of the key on the run switch, so we know for sure that that map's gone in there beautiful. And just from the idling point of view there, I think it did sound quite smooth, just increasing that fueling just a little bit. So we've not made a massive amount of changes, but I think it's enough just to run the bike now and see how it compares with that map on as opposed to how it was without, and just changing the exhaust over without putting the map on. Okay, so that wraps that vlog up, folks. So it just shows you sometimes when you change out the components on your bike, whether that be the air filter or whether that be the exhaust on your bike, or a combination of both. Now, Steve's bike hasn't been updated or had a map put on it for quite a number of years. So as soon as we plugged into that bike, it was asking for an update for the VCI, which we did, and then loaded up the relevant map, which in his case was the 883cc for his bike. And again, we loaded up a standard map for that bike and then just changed a couple of profiles. Now, we haven't gone mad with those yet, but even so, he could tell straight away when the bike was started up that it sounded a lot smoother as well, and with the throttle and the overrun. So he's gone away now to give the bike a good test on his way home, and I'll get the feedback for that later. So quick update, Steve's actually done about a half an hour ride back home from here. He said the bike is running absolutely fantastic, smooth on the power delivery and the mid to top end. So looks like that little map build was a success. Only a couple of points changed, but it just goes to show you that that was right for his bike. If I sound like I've got a little bit nasally, I've had the dreaded lurgy for the past week since I got back from the winter camping trip. So if you've watched that vlog, I hope you enjoyed that, guys. But until the next time, again, here in the UK, we've got the damp, miserable weather, so it's not ideal for going out for a ride. I am absolutely dying to take my 48 out on the road, because it's been a while now, and get you some footage of that. So we'll see what happens in the pipeline. But until the next time, folks, if you haven't subscribed to ALCHEMOTO, now's your time. Please do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Please do comment, and please do put yourselves a like on there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.